this video, we'll talk about an ad format that very few Facebook advertisers really use and very few really know about. And those are known as collection ads currently, or also known as canvas ads or instant experiences. So the way those work is when you create a new ad, you can go and select that third format option called collection, and it says group of items that opens into a full screen mobile experience, which is not very descriptive. But what it does basically is it sends your audience to a instant experience. What this means is that they're not going to end up on your landing page, but they are going to end up in an instant experience inside of Facebook. And this has several advantages. First of all, it's a fast loading mobile optimized experience, meaning that it can be used for areas where the internet is pretty bad and you might not want to take people to your landing page. It can also be used for people to quickly see a little bit more information about your value proposition if they're interested, and then go to your online store or to your landing page. Now, these instant experiences have several templates provided by Facebook that you can use, or you can create your own. So let's first check the templates, and then we'll see how you can create your own custom instant experience. First is the storefront. In order to use the storefront instant experience, you need to have a product catalog. In this case, we have a product catalog that we set during the settings videos, and when you select your product catalog, you will get a storefront. Now, you can also select whether you want a dynamic video, a video, or a simple image to be at the top of your storefront. And you can also have a header with a text or a logo. Let's leave it with a text. Our page is called business page, so that's why that looks like that. And then you can, of course, add your cover image. In this case, I'll just add, let's use the ninja for this example. I know it's not going to end up being a very good storefront. That doesn't matter right now. It's just an example. You can also have some advanced options. So, for example, you can add to your product some information about the brand. If you're selling different brands on your online store, you can show some short descriptions or prices and so on. And you can even show the URL, but this is not recommended because it doesn't actually provide any valuable information. So that's completely fine. And then you can also have a button at the end that says, for example, visit our store, or make a reservation, or order now, something like that. But visit our store for the storefront is pretty much well done. You can order your products dynamically, meaning that Facebook will over time optimize and show your best performing products more often, or you can choose a specific order of your own, but then that would mean that you have to add your products one by one. In this case, we'll just leave it to order dynamically. Now, of course, that's very, very useful for online stores. And a cool hack that you can try is with your campaign settings, you can choose traffic. Why is that? Generally, you want to leave it at conversions, right? If you have an ad and you send people to your website, you want them to buy. Obviously, you have an online store, so conversions is the best. But with traffic, we have an interesting case, because your ad doesn't send people directly to your online store. It sends them to this instant experience. And inside of this instant experience, they have the opportunity to see your product, see the price, see a little bit of a description, and then also see several products and maybe choose the one they like, and then they will end up on your product page inside of your online store. And so this can be a little bit more engaging than usual, and so selecting the traffic objective can be good in certain cases. Now, generally, conversions should do a better job, but you can try traffic in certain cases, especially when your products are pretty cheap and impulsive, and it's not a very hard sell that you're doing, right? So it's not a high risk, high value product. Now the next one is lookbook. Lookbooks are, as the name suggests, a lookbook. And the point of these is that, for example, a fashion brand can present their products in a very nice instant experience on Facebook. So a good example of that would be, let's say, Prada, a big Italian fashion brand, is releasing their new fall winter collection. And the goal of this ad is for you to actually go to their retail store and buy your Prada bags and shoes over there. But they just want you to be aware of their products. And so you can send people to this instant experience. They can take a look at all of the products and decide which ones they like, and maybe that would entice them to go to their to your retail store. Another good opportunity to use a lookbook style of template is for certain local businesses like restaurants. Imagine that you have a restaurant, a pizza place, and you are advertising your menu. So you can show the different types of pizzas and then send people to your place, right? So you can maybe your destination could be a Google Maps, or it could be a store locator where you. What happened over here? Our ad got bugged, so that sometimes happens. Let's go back to our lookbook. So yeah, this generally should work, and you can use the store locator. I won't touch this again, but you can send people to a physical location. So for example, imagine that you're a restaurant and you're advertising to a radius of, let's say, 1 kilometer around the restaurant. It's time for lunch. You're running your ads, and people can see the menu directly and come to your restaurant. That's another great use of these instant experiences. So the third one is customer acquisition, and this one is really more optimized for that example that I told you about the restaurant. So here you can say, here's our lunch menu, for example, or specialties from our chef coming today, and so on. You can also use that for bars and events that are happening. You can get really creative with these instant experiences. And so obviously here you can have a video or a slideshow. You have your texts that you can add over here, your titles and texts and buttons, and you can add some carousels and present your products. But now the templates themselves are kind of restricting. That's why Facebook gives you the option to create a custom experience. Now, think of the custom experience or instant experience as a mini landing page, because that's really what it is. And if you don't need to specifically send people to your website to get the job done and to achieve the objective of the campaign, this is when instant experiences become relevant and start making sense. Now, the way this is organized is by components. So components can be several types. There would be buttons, carousels, photos, text blocks, videos, headers, and product sets. So let's start with a header, right? The header is basically that section with the text or the logo. So let's say this will be, for example, Masters Academy, and we can give it a background color. This is for the designers to do, but in this case I will just leave it white, Masters Academy. Then we can add another component. Maybe this time we can add a video. You can't add the header twice, by the way, so we are ending up with these videos. So let's upload a video over here. We'll upload the Masters Academy intro, and then we can fit it to the height. Sometimes that works, but not in this case. It's just if you have a vertical video, you can use that, but they're not very good. Then we'll add another component. Let's say we'll add a text block, and in this text block we'll add some text. Let's go to Masters Academy's page, kind of copy that. We'll recreate our landing page a little bit, and we can do that. So let's go ahead and maybe we can make that a little bit bigger. Oops. So we want just this one, and we can change the font. In this case, we'll go with the sans serif. We'll choose a more appropriate font later on. Well, I'm not gonna bother with it. We're just gonna leave it like that. You can give it some kind of a different background color to make it different than the rest. I am not a designer, not pretending to be, so we're not gonna think too much about that. We can put a button and say in that button we can put Masters Academy as the destination. Over here, our button style could be fill, and our button will say start your free trial now, right? We can get that bolded, and we can give it a bit of a clearer color, and so on. Now, obviously, if you're gonna do this, better speak to the designers first and kind of ask them for help to create this experience. You can also fix this button at the bottom of the view, right? So it's kind of always staying fixed. Then we can add another component. We can, let's say, create a carousel, and let's upload several images. Let me just clearly see this. Get some cool ones. So yeah, we can make one about the tools. Of course, if that's not enough, you can always add a component, maybe add a text block, and this text block will need to have will need to be on top of that. It's a bit hard to work with this, but yeah, here, so we can say amazing tools, and these amazing tools will be over here. We can also create one other one where we'll add some testimonials maybe. So let's do that quickly. Add a few of those. I just happen to have some, so just use them. And we have a section on our tools, we have a section on our testimonials, for example. And of course, when you involve the designers in this process, you can end up with a very, very cool instant experience that you can provide to your customers. Of course, you can also use the product sets, and combinations of text blocks and photos can really make for an amazing experience. And photos also can mean GIFs, so you can actually have some very cool animations on that. And here you can add a complete storefront on that, include some products, maybe add some products to your collection, and they will be displayed over here. Of course, this is not very easy to do, and it takes some time to create these instant experiences, but they can be very, very beneficial. They work best in certain cases. So first of all, you have your online stores, and the instant experiences allow people to view your products before actually jumping off to your online store. So if they don't have a great connection or they don't want to leave Facebook, that's an additional step that you can add to kind of smoothen the transition between the ad in your landing page or your online store. If you have some kind of a local business or a retail store, it's a great way for you to present your product collection. So you can use something like a lookbook. You can present your menu if your business is a restaurant. Maybe you can showcase your services in a very quick and easy to grasp way. You can even test this instant experience against your landing page. Now, we have reason to believe that in the future, Facebook will actually add the lead forms to the instant experiences. So you can create an instant experience with a lead form inside of it, and then people will be able to actually sign up or maybe create an account on this instant experience. They're moving in that direction, so we expect that to happen in the future. We don't know if it will, but we do expect it to happen. And finally, just to make sure that you don't forget, this is still an ad, and it has its own primary text headlines and descriptions, and you can actually use it to make sure and make it clear that people are going to check out certain stuff that you're going to present there. What I really mean is that they're not going to leave Facebook, and it's in some ways very, very clear how that happens. So let's close that down. And generally, if you don't have designers, try to use the templates, and if you do have designers, definitely give it a hand with the instant experiences. But make sure they add to the experience, they don't make it harder, and make sure it makes sense, right? Because sometimes people create these instant experiences just because they can and they want to try them, but they don't actually make sense and improve the customer experience. If you can provide a better experience on your online store, if you have a mobile version, if you have a great landing page, if your online store is loading fast and quick and does the job, if you can present your menu or product collection on your online store or website, and it works perfectly, then you don't really need an instant experience. And it's important to mention that because they can reduce your performance just as well as they can improve it. It matters from industry to industry and business to business. It changes a lot. So you want to test it, but make sure that it adds to the customer experience and makes it better. If you can shorten it, that's a good way to go. But don't make it longer just because. That's what I'm trying to say with these instant experiences. And that's really not everything that you need to know about instant experiences. So feel free to research a little bit more about them. Check out different instant experiences done by big brands like Coca-Cola and Dove and others. I'm sure you will find interesting ideas, and definitely consult with your designers to see how you can create some awesome instant experiences. And if you don't have designers, you can always use the templates. Right. That's everything that I have for instant experiences on Facebook and the so-called collection ads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.